Hey guys, it's Dan, your host of TWD Reviews, and today I'm back for another Walking Dead video for today. This one's going to be doing another character evolution video. This one is going to be talking about a Season 5 character of The Walking Dead. This one's for Gabriel. Okay guys, just going to be doing a video for today. This one's going to be doing the Walking Dead video for today. This one's going to be doing the next character evolution video, and this one is going to be on Gabriel from The Walking Dead. So, this one is another one that kind of was very high on the poll, I do notice, and I know a lot of people really wanted to see one for Gabriel because he is a character that's changed so much from his introduction to where he's at now. I have a feeling that's why this one was, as demanded as it was, because honestly, Gabriel he's kind of like Carol, like he changes so much from when he's introduced to where he is now. He still is a priest, he still is this and that, but he's very different. He's very, very different now. So I definitely like that. I think that's very interesting. Now, basically, he is introduced in Season 5. Basically, he is a kind of stranger that they kind of come upon, and they don't trust him. They feel like he's hiding something. Rick doesn't trust him. He does give him a warning, though. He's like, these people are my family, and if what you're hiding somehow hurts them in any way, I'll kill you. And he wasn't really hiding anything that was against Rick and them, but he did lock, his people out, and then, everything happened there. They got all, eaten and stuff, and all, basically killed out there. And Gabriel had to sit in his, church and just basically listen to what happens. So, obviously that messed him up quite a bit, but he's just a coward. I mean, honestly, I could go into other things, but he's just a coward in Season 5. He really is. And honestly, they're on the road, he's there, but you just know that he's a very selfish, very selfish man. Basically in Season 5, at the end, he rats out Rick and the others to Deanna, says that they'll take this place from you, they're bad people, this and that. And Maggie hears this, and she's just like, great, that's great. So, it's just like, man, like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, everything we did for you. That's the look that's, like, on Maggie's face when he says that to Deanna. But anyway, she doesn't let him know that she knows. She just kind of stays out of it. But Maggie overhears this. And, of course, Gabriel says this to Deanna. Deanna starts questioning things. Then, not even one day later, like Deanna says, Rick started to describe, all the things that Father Gabriel said. And, of course, that is, kind of the crazy thing is that, yeah, like literally a day later, Rick's fighting some dude in the street and pointing a gun at people. So it doesn't look too good on him, right? So thanks a lot, Gabriel. You kind of made Deanna think a little bit. But, anyway, so basically, Gabriel gives the warning. He, wants to go out there. I remember in the finale, he's like going out there, he's killing a walker. He puts a person down, I remember, and he kind of like just tries to adjust to this world, I guess. But to make a long story short, I don't like the guy. Season 5 Gabriel, not a fan of him at all. Now, Season 6, he wants to step up a little bit. He wants to help out with the herd. He wants to help out with the wolves. And then Carl finally decides, like, okay, come by round 3. We'll start with the machete, right? And essentially, the wolves attack, so they don't really get the time to do that. And Gabriel almost gets killed by one of the wolves. But, of course, Morgan saves his life. So, I'm not very good with guns. And Morgan's like, yeah, me neither. So, it's like, man, Morgan, can you take both guns? Because I'd love some Season 8 Morgan right now in JSS. So, just saying, we could have used Season 8 Morgan in JSS, right? So, Gabriel doesn't want to have the guns. Morgan doesn't either. And then, basically, Gabriel is pretty much not really included in the rest of that episode. But, pretty cool attack scene there. And basically, in the rest of the season, he's like, there, Rick doesn't like him. There's always, like, these moments where Rick's just like, oh, I don't want to talk to you. I'm ripping your signs down, stuff like that. Gabriel puts another one back up. I love it. But basically, really heroic moment, and the moment that proved to Rick that Gabriel is a different man is when he takes Judith on his own and takes her safely to his church in No Way Out, and actually makes it. Like, that proves to Rick, okay, like, all right, like, I put my trust into him, and he not only did he deliver, but he proved his loyalty by doing that. So that scene is honestly very good. When he takes Judith and No Way Out on his own, and he gets there and stuff like that, I love it. And then a great line from Gabriel in season 6, God will save Alexandria because God has given us the courage to save it ourselves. And just very optimistic. And when you hear that, like, I just get chills, like, thinking about that. Because honestly, that's when I was like, okay, I like Gabriel now. I'm sorry. Like, I like Gabriel now. He's really cool. So within a half season, he turned into a piece of crap to a great character. So season 6, for me, is when that character finally, like, kind of, you know, found his footing a little bit as a hardcore survivor, which is what I really like. And essentially, they take out all the walkers on the way out. He's there for it. He takes them out. But he still wears that, like, priest outfit. And I love that one time when they're attacking the outpost. And Rick's like, why are you still wearing that? He's like, well, I'm still who I was. And also, it'll be harder for them to see me in the dark, you know? So, which is true. I mean, in the dark, like, honestly, why not, right? But he essentially shoots one of the saviors. I remember that, like, when the savior's, like, blood's coming. He's, like, talking to him, and then he says his prayers as he kills him. I'm like, oh, my goodness, man. So, that is, I mean, to each their own, I guess, but holy crap. So, yeah, so he kills him, and then, of course, you know, he's basically just a great member of the group. He's a sniper. I remember in the season finale, he's like, are you comfortable, Rick, leaving me in charge of Alexandria's defense? And Rick says yes, and I mean, I can see why, because Rick, you know, knows that Gabriel's a different man, that is for sure. So, season 6 evolution, wow, honestly, I'm sorry. I gotta take a second to appreciate this. Season 6 evolution, fantastic. He turned from a piece of crap to a great character. A+. Love his evolution in season 6. It's exactly what it needs to be. Now, in season 7, he continues down that road. You've got Spencer, who says he hates Rick. He wants Rick to not make it back. He, you know, of course, you know, Gabriel, you know, fakes the death of Maggie. He really comes up with some interesting strategies here. And I love when Rick's looking for the guns, and he's like, you know, we'll find the guns. We'll find a way. We'll get out of this, you know. And he's like, how? And he's like, well, you're my friend. It wasn't always that way, you know. I love that. I think that's so cool. And he's so positive. Like, he's like, I'll look in Deanna's office again, you know. I love it. I think it's so cool. And he's like, holy crap, you know. And he's like, oh, like, my apologies. I'm Father Gabriel, you know. Love it with the creepy smile and stuff. Like, just, oh man, I love it. So, another one of the best duos in the show, Negan and Gabriel. Anytime those two have scenes together, I love it. I don't know what it is. Those two actors, JDM and Seth Gilliam, really do a great job. But anyway, so basically, Spencer lets Gabriel know how he feels about Rick. He's like, I'm gonna walk back, frig you. And he's basically telling him, like, he's like, okay, like, you know, it doesn't have to be terminal, but, you know, if you want to make it, you know, if you want to make it this permanent the way you feel about Rick, well, that's fine, you know, but I'm not gonna be a part of it, that whole kind of thing. And I like how you said, like, Rick brought out the good in him, you know. So in the second half of the season, in season 7, he obviously goes to Oceanside. He gets captured by the Junkyard group, and then, of course, he really proves himself with Tamia, of course, and he puts the knife to her throat, and he kind of, like, you know, speaks for the group and stuff like that, so I thought that was really, really good, you know, because they kind of thought, like, oh, did Gabriel betray us? But no, he didn't, you know, he left the note, you know, boat, he wanted to be found, and, you know, that whole kind of thing. So I like that. I think that's also cool. I don't like the trash people, but I do like the way they did that storyline. So, now in season, so that's basically it. Gabriel doesn't do too much for the rest of that season, but, essentially in season 8, he is, of course, locked up in, that, you know, trailer with Negan, and he kind of gets the confession out of him, you know, he finds out about Lucille and all that good stuff, and, I gotta say, I really like that episode. I know some people don't like the big scare you. I don't like a lot of parts of it either, but I do like how some of that stuff not only teased here's Negan, but it also did a lot for the Negan and Gabriel kind of dynamic that I felt like was going there for a bit. So, I think that's really cool. I like how they did that. Now, Gabriel, of course, when they, you know, they put the walker guts on, that affects him big time that season, and obviously, like, you know, him and Dr. Carson get away, but, you know, his vision is not, you know, is just not, you know, feasible, you know, and basically, in the rest of the season, he can't really see that well. He's, you know, he gets brought back to the, you know, the Saviors after Dr. Carson gets killed, but he's not really in the best shape. And that is essentially his storyline in Season 8. So, Season 8 Evolution, it's, like, decent, you know, it's alright, you know. Now, Season 9, I really like, because in Season 9, he, of course, we get the first few episodes where he hooks up with Anne, Jadis, but Anne, and basically, he kind of finds out about the CRM, which I still don't understand why he didn't mention that to anyone. I still need to know why he hasn't mentioned that, but, either way, it makes for some intriguing TV when you've got, in episode 3, Jadis that's on the walkie, and then Gabriel's like, who are you talking to? You know, those people. That's what you're going to do with me, with Rick, with Negan, you know? That I really like. You know, that's some cool stuff right there. But I will say, I think Gabriel has an interesting change from then, and then when Anne leaves him, and then you get the time skip, and then he's like, what is it, like, the head, yeah, I think he is the head of the council, and then Michonne's the head of security, right? Yeah, so he's leading everything in Season 9, which I think is really cool. He's interviewing Magna's group, he's asking them questions, who are they now, who were they before, and stuff like this, and just a very, very good character. So, obviously, when we get the Whisper storyline, Rosita and Eugene go out, and of course, you know, Rosita gets hurt, Eugene has to kind of hide in the barn, but he just hides in the barn for all these hours. I still can't with that. You're telling me he hid in the barn for that many hours, but anyway, whatever. So, we basically got Gabriel that's kind of, you know, a little pissed off because Negan's being crappy to him, right? And he's just like, it's bad enough, you know, I have to pick it up. I shouldn't have to listen to it too, you know? And basically, Negan's just like, oh, look, I'm sorry, man. And then he just slams the door. But, of course, Negan gets let out. And, of course, that's what happens there. And, of course, throughout the rest of the season, Gabriel continues to lead. You've got that stuff going on. He doesn't do too much in 9B, but he's there. I think he's pretty good. So, decent evolution for Season 9. But Season 10, all right, I like this. Season 10, he's continuing to be the head of the council. He is, obviously a very good member of that. He's got some really cool scenes there with Sadiq. I remember that, there was a lot of stuff with him in that season, making calls and stuff like that. And I remember in particular when they find out that Dante is the traitor, he shuts that down pretty freaking quick. So, he kills him. He straight up kills Dante, in the cell, brutally, covered in blood, walks out of there like an absolute savage. And I remember in particular, Rosita just like looks outside the window and she just sees Gabriel like walk up the stairs. And she's like, I'm staying out of this, and she shuts the window and stuff like that. I don't know, that was so crazy because Rosita's like, okay, no, I know what he did. I'm not going out there and talking to him about that. So, in the second half of the season, he gets a lot more brutal, I find, after the death of, Dante. He's like, okay, if you come across one of them, pull teeth, get information, stuff like this, get information, and as soon as they drop the act, which is what it is, he's basically putting all of them to work. So, in Stalker, of course, they're outside the walls. I remember him and Scott, right, it's a legendary Scott and a few others. They're out there, and I remember, Gamma gets taken away by Beta, but then Gabriel doesn't really believe her at first, and then he decides to kind of, put the shotgun down and kind of, like, chill out a little bit. So, I like that, kind of trusting Mary and stuff like that. So, basically, in the rest of the season, he, of course, he's not really in that much, because I know he's not there for the Battle of Hilltop and stuff like that, but I do know that in the season finale, he does some heroic things right here because he lays out the plan, how some of them are going to go in the herd, some of them are going to go here. He stands his ground with the shotgun and shoots, like, how many whispers was that? And then he gets taken down. I remember when he's down on the ground, we were all freaking out. I remember all the fans were, like, freaking out when Gabriel, because we were like, is he going to die or something? But no, Maggie comes in and saves his life, luckily, because that was such a good scene in my opinion. So, Gabriel, man, if he would have died, he would have went out fighting, but I'm glad he didn't, because honestly, that death would have been so sad to watch. So, but honestly, in the finale, great. So, Season 10, Gabriel, he's a savage, and I think he's great. Now, the one last part, of course, that we're going to leave out here, which is a bonus episode, but I have to mention it because it is the only bonus episode that this character is even in. Of course, one more, he has an episode with Aaron where they are kind of, on this supply run. They've been on this, supply run for a few weeks. They kind of get drunk, and then basically you've got Robert Patrick's character that comes in, and he's like, how was the boar? And stuff like that. I love it, man. Such a cool introduction scene, but, I'd like a bite, such a good scene, man. Such a good scene. But, I like how he's like, how was it? And Gabriel's like, it was good, so cool. So, basically, we got the Russian roulette. We got, basically, they're not going to shoot each other, because, that's just not what they do. So, they're going to shoot themselves instead, which I thought was pretty crazy. Not once did they point the gun at the other person sitting in the chair. That's what gets me in that scene. And they ground you in that scene so much. Every time I watch the Russian roulette scene, I feel like I'm there. I honestly do. I feel like I'm there and it's my turn or something. That's how messed up it is, but that's why you gotta give it credit. Because that scene it gets you that into it. It sucks that they turned Robert Patrick into a sissy near the end, but man, I gotta say, very well done. That scene, very, very well done. So, they decide to go for one more as they go to the water tower, but you know and hears Negan that Gabriel is back, so there's no tension there. So yeah, so this was actually a very long evolution video, but I'm glad it was, because he is a great character. He's had a lot of great screen time, a crazy evolution, and honestly, Gabriel, for me personally as a character, fantastic. I honestly think, he's a great character. He's got a lot of great screen time. And honestly, yeah, that is my thoughts on Gabriel, guys. So anyway, I want to hear from you guys in the comment section below. What do you guys think about his character evolution video throughout the series? I want to hear that from you guys in the comment section below. And of course, guys, if you're new here, click the subscribe button to miss my Walking Dead videos. Follow me for Walking Dead reviews, subscribe, guys. And of course, I'll see you guys very soon for another Walking Dead video. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. And peace out.
Anybody out there?